Did you know New York has a lake so radioactive it was America's most polluted ice caves that stay frozen in July, and a submerged ghost town that rises from the water during droughts? Most people think New York is just the city, but the Empire State hides some of the most insane secrets on the planet. Buckle up. Here are 30 mind-blowing facts that'll change how you see New York forever. Fact 30. The salt mine beneath your feet. Deep below the suburbs of Ithaca lies the Cargill Salt Mine, stretching over 2,000 acres, one of the largest underground salt mines in North America. This underground labyrinth sits 2,300 feet below the surface, carved from a 400-million-year-old salt deposit left behind when ancient seas evaporated. Miners drive trucks through tunnels tall enough for buildings, extracting salt that de-ices roads across the Northeast. You could fit entire neighborhoods down there. New York literally has a city-sized cavern of salt hiding beneath ordinary towns. Fact 29. The Wine Empire. New York is America's third-largest wine producer, with over 400 wineries scattered across the state. Only California and Washington produce more. The Finger Lakes region alone has become a world-class wine destination, particularly famous for Rieslings that rival Germany's best. The same glacial lakes that carved those deep valleys create perfect microclimates for grape growing. While everyone associates New York with pizza and bagels, the state is quietly running a wine empire that produces millions of gallons annually. Fact 28. America's oldest brewery. The Yuengling Brewery in Pottsville, Pennsylvania, claims to be America's oldest, but New York has the FX Matt Brewing Company, Saranac, in Utica, operating since 1888. Even more impressive, beer was being brewed in New Amsterdam, now New York City, as early as the 1630s. New York's brewing tradition predates the United States itself. The state has been perfecting beer for nearly 400 years. Fact 27. The radioactive lake. Onondaga Lake near Syracuse was once called the most polluted lake in America. Industrial waste dumped for over a century included mercury, PCBs, and even radioactive materials. At its worst, the lake was so toxic that swimming was banned, and fish were inedible. A $1 billion cleanup effort has been underway since 2004, making it one of the largest environmental restoration projects in U.S. history. The lake is recovering, but sediments still contain a toxic time capsule of industrial America's darkest environmental sins. Fact 26. The concrete jungle isn't concrete. Manhattan's famous bedrock, the schist and granite that allows skyscrapers to exist, is actually exposed in Central Park. You can walk through the park and touch 450-million-year-old rock formations that have been polished smooth by glaciers. These same formations dive deep underground, providing the foundation for buildings like the Empire State Building. Without this ancient bedrock, Manhattan's skyline would be impossible. The city's vertical ambitions rest on some of Earth's oldest stone. Fact 25. The Vanishing Island. Barren Island in Jamaica Bay was once home to a thriving community of 1,500 people who worked in fish oil and fertilizer factories. The island literally disappeared, absorbed into Brooklyn through landfill expansion. Today, it's part of the Gateway National Recreation Area, but old maps show it as a distinct island. New York has consumed entire islands to fuel its growth. Geography itself couldn't resist the city's expansion. Fact 24. The Underground Railroad Hub. Albany was a major underground railroad hub, and nearby buildings and safe houses were used to shelter escaped slaves before they continued north to Canada. The city's strategic location made it a critical stop on the Freedom Route, with numerous documented safe houses operating throughout the 1800s. Churches, homes, and businesses all played roles in this network of resistance. Albany's streets were pathways to freedom, with architecture and courage working together for liberation. Fact 23. The Gravity Hill. One of several Gravity Hill roads reported across New York State creates an optical illusion where cars appear to roll uphill when placed in neutral. This phenomenon results from the surrounding landscape creating a visual reference that tricks your brain. The road actually slopes downhill, but the horizon line makes it look like you're going up. Physics hasn't broken. Your perception has. New York has roads that make gravity look like it's malfunctioning. Fact 22. The smallest church. Oneida's Cross Island Chapel measures just 28 square feet, making it one of the smallest churches in the world. Built in 1989 on a tiny island, it seats exactly 2 people and hosts occasional weddings for couples seeking the ultimate intimate ceremony. The chapel sits on a manufactured island barely larger than the building itself. New York has a church so small you could park a car in the space it occupies. Fact 21. The Petrified Forest. Gilboa, New York, contains the world's oldest fossil forest, dating back 385 million years. These aren't traditional trees. They're ancient tree-fern hybrids called wadieza that grew when life was just beginning to colonize land. The fossils reveal Earth's first forests, preserved in stone. Scientists study these rocks to understand how plants first transformed the planet's atmosphere. New York has a forest older than dinosaurs, older than flowers, older than almost everything we recognize as life. Fact 20. The secret subway station. New York City's City Hall subway station, opened in 1904, was the crown jewel of the system, with beautiful tilework, skylights, and elegant arches. It closed in 1945 because modern trains were too long for its curved platform. The station still exists, perfectly preserved, and the 6th train still loops through it to turn around. Transit enthusiasts can glimpse this architectural time capsule if they stay on the train past the last stop. New York has a ghost station frozen in 1904, still beautiful, still hidden. Fact 19. The floating forest. The sphagnum bog in the Adirondacks contains floating islands of vegetation thick enough to walk on. These quaking bogs consist of layers of moss and peat that literally float on water. Step on them, and the entire surface ripples like a waterbed. Some of these floating mats are acres in size, supporting entire ecosystems. New York has islands you can walk on that aren't actually attached to the ground. Fact 18. The backwards waterfall. During extreme winds, eternal flame falls, yes, the one with fire, occasionally experiences conditions where water appears to reverse flow during extreme winds instead of falling down. The combination of the gorgeous shape and powerful gusts creates this surreal phenomenon. You can watch water defy gravity while fire burns behind it. New York has a waterfall that occasionally forgets how waterfalls work. Fact 17. The Diamond District's secret. New York City's Diamond District on 47th Street handles an estimated majority of diamonds entering the United States. This single block in Manhattan processes billions of dollars in gems annually, making it one of the world's most valuable streets per square foot. The district operates on centuries-old trust systems where million-dollar deals are sealed with handshakes. One city block controls a massive portion of America's diamond supply chain. Fact 16. The Mushroom Capital. Kennett Square, Pennsylvania, claims the Mushroom Capital title, but New York's Hudson Valley is a significant specialty mushroom producer, growing millions of pounds annually. The region's climate and soil create perfect conditions for specialty mushrooms. Some farms grow exotic varieties worth $20 plus per pound. New York's mushroom industry is a hidden agricultural powerhouse worth tens of millions of dollars. If you're enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button and help us get to 1,000 subscribers. Your support truly keeps this channel going. Fact 15. The Underwater Ghost Town. The Pepacton Reservoir in the Catskills submerged the entire town of Pepacton when it was created in the 1950s. During severe droughts, when water levels drop dramatically, foundations, roads, and remnants of the town emerge like a ghost rising from the grave. Former residents have returned during droughts to walk the streets of their childhood, now covered by a reservoir. New York drowned an entire town to supply water to the city. Fact 14. The lava flows. The Palisades along the Hudson River aren't just cliffs. They're a massive diabase sill formed from lava that intruded between rock layers 200 million years ago. This igneous intrusion stretches for 50 miles and reaches 300 feet thick in places. The vertical columns formed as the lava cooled and contracted. These aren't volcanic mountains, but they're definitely made of lava. New York has a 50-mile lava formation hiding in plain sight. Fact 13. The Bat Hibernaculum. Abandoned mines throughout the Adirondacks serve as hibernation sites for hundreds of thousands of bats. These underground chambers maintain perfect temperatures for winter hibernation. Some caves host multiple species, creating bat cities where different species coexist. White nose syndrome has devastated populations, but these hibernacula remain critical for survival. New York's old mines have become bat hotels hosting winter populations that would fill stadiums. Fact 12. The tidal wetlands. New York contains over 250,000 acres of tidal wetlands, creating one of the East Coast's most important ecosystems. These wetlands filter enormous volumes of water, protect against storm surge, and provide nurseries for fish and shellfish. They're worth billions in ecosystem services. yet most people drive past without noticing. New York's wetlands are working 24/7 to keep the state's water clean and coastlines protected. Fact 11. The Garnet Mine. The Barton Garnet Mine in the Adirondacks is the world's largest garnet mine, producing industrial garnets used in sandpaper, water filtration, and sandblasting. This single mine supplies a significant portion of the world's industrial garnet demand. The deposit formed over 1 billion years ago when extreme heat and pressure created these hard, durable crystals. New York doesn't just have pretty rocks, it has rocks that build the world. Fact 10. The Reversing Falls. The Ausable Chasm features sections where complex currents and hydraulics that can feel like reversal create challenging conditions for kayakers. This 500-million-year-old gorge has been carved by water that creates dangerous turbulence and swirling patterns. The chasm is beautiful, ancient, and occasionally confusing with its powerful hydraulic forces that challenge even experienced paddlers. Fact 9. The Maple Syrup Empire. New York is America's second-largest maple syrup producer after Vermont, tapping millions of trees annually. The state produces over 800,000 gallons of syrup each year from sugar maple forests covering thousands of acres. Some operations have been family-run for generations, perfecting the art of turning tree sap into liquid gold. New York's forests are basically a massive pancake-topping factory. Fact 8. The Glacial Potholes. Ausable Chasm and other Adirondack locations contain massive glacial potholes, circular holes drilled into bedrock by swirling meltwater carrying rocks. Some potholes are 30 feet deep and 15 feet wide, carved by water-spinning rocks like natural drill bits for thousands of years. These geological features look like giants' footprints pressed into stone. New York's bedrock has been Swiss cheesed by ancient water drills. Fact 7. The Serpentine Barrens. Staten Island's Serpentine Barrens feature soil so toxic that only specialized plants survive. Serpentine rock contains high levels of heavy metals like chromium and nickel, creating a natural toxic waste site. The result is a unique ecosystem, with rare plants found almost nowhere else in the region. New York has a naturally poisoned landscape that's become a biodiversity hotspot through sheer evolutionary stubbornness. Fact 6. The Submerged Forest. Lake Ontario's bottom contains a submerged forest of ancient tree stumps, preserved underwater for thousands of years. These trees grew when lake levels were much lower, then drowned as water rose. Divers have documented submerged tree stumps, touching trees that died millennia ago. It's an eerie reminder that today's lake was once dry land with forests and wildlife. Fact 5. The Earthquake Swarm. In 2023, the Adirondacks experienced an earthquake swarm with dozens of small tremors over several weeks. The largest reached magnitude 3.8, strong enough to rattle dishes and wake people up. These swarms occur related to ongoing crustal adjustment. The Adirondacks aren't just ancient, they're cracking and popping as geological forces continue to shape them. New York's mountains are literally restless. Fact 4. The Ice Caves. Sam's Point. Preserve in the Shawangunk Mountains contains ice caves that often retain ice deep into summer, even during hot weather. Cold air sinks into these crevices and gets trapped, creating natural refrigeration. You can hike through 80-degree heat, descend into a cave, and find ice in July. These caves are natural refrigerators that have maintained their chill for centuries. Fact 3. The Tidal Range. New York Harbor experiences tidal ranges of 4 to 5 feet twice daily, moving billions of gallons of water in and out. During extreme spring tides, the range can exceed 6 feet. This constant movement creates powerful currents that have shaped the harbor's ecology and navigation for centuries. The harbor breathes twice a day, inhaling and exhaling ocean water in a rhythm that never stops. Fact 2. The Limestone Labyrinth. Howe Caverns, discovered in 1842, extends for miles underground with massive chambers, underground rivers, and formations millions of years old. The cave maintains a constant 52 degrees year-round, creating a natural climate-controlled environment. Some chambers are large enough to hold buildings. New York has an entire underground world that most people never see, complete with rivers, lakes, and stone formations that took millions of years to create. Fact 1. The Biodiversity Hotspot. Despite being heavily developed, New York contains over 70 distinct ecological communities, from wetlands to alpine zones. The state hosts approximately 2,100 native plant species and 450 bird species. This biodiversity rivals many less developed states because New York's geography is so varied. From sea level to mountain peaks, from coastal forests to mountain tundra, the state packs incredible ecological diversity into one place. New York isn't just the Empire State, it's an empire of ecosystems. These 30 facts prove the Empire State is far stranger and more spectacular than anyone imagines. If you enjoyed this journey through New York's hidden wonders, hit that subscribe button and help us reach 1,000. Drop a comment below with the most surprising fact you learned. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.